Welcome back again to another Wake 'em Up Wednesday with your host, the one and only Jake the Awake, formerly Jake the Asshole, and formerly Flat Earth Asshole. Y'all, in 2026, we are celebrating 10 years of truth here on YouTube. I'm glad to see that you guys are still here hanging with me after all this time. We got any longtime fans in the house? Do we got anyone here live tonight who was subscribed back when I was Flat Earth Asshole? I hope so. And if you recently showed up because of the football content, I hope that you stick around after the football season ends, because this is a truth channel. And waking people up that sports is rigged is no different than waking people up that the news is rigged or that politics is rigged. So basically, this is the one and only real truth channel that is still in existence and still rocking and rolling after all this time. Y'all ready to have a good night? Y'all ready to party? Let me say hi to all the people I see here in chat, and then we will kick things off. Let me make sure my watch page is on and popping, and we will kick off the show. Got some topics that are trending on the world stage, but the one topic I'm not going to discuss much is the bullshit Epstein files. Can you guys believe that they're still dangling these Epstein files in front of people's faces, and sheep are like, ooh, did you hear about who's on the Epstein files? Right? Like, come on, y'all. You can't verify a single goddamn thing that's on these Epstein files. And like, we're to believe bad guys did bad things, and all of these bad things were cataloged and put into a database and kept on some files. And then all these years later, the mainstream media gets handed these files by the government, and people are like, yes, please tell us. Please tell us. Meanwhile, I'm like one of the only guys like, hey, y'all, if it comes from the mainstream media and they get it from the government, why in the fuck would you trust anything on them files, right? So I'm just going off on a rant to start the show. I still see tons of channels like milking the same stories. Oh, Erica Kirk, Epstein files. And then I see they get hundreds of thousands of views. Oh my God, there's a new leaked video of Erica Kirk. Oh my God, really? Oh, did you hear? There's more people on the Epstein files. Tell me who? Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement. Oh my God, him too? Yep. Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement. You know, the middle boy. Yeah. He went to Epstein Island and he slept with 66.6 underage chicks. It's on the Epstein. So these Epstein. Wow, that was weird. It's like my footage cut out for just a second while I was getting on a roll there. Weird. All right. So let me say hello to everybody I see here, like Kevin Arnold and Holden. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Holden. Let's see. Angela's here. Angela, hi. How are you? All right. And I also got some super chats that came in before the show even started. So I got to go back and read these super chats. You know, I have such an awesome audience. They have super chats waiting for me before I even start the show. And this is one of those times. The very first comment that was made came in long before the show started from Rye, or RY. And he says, Jake, so glad you're live. And he also says, was it? Whew. All right. You guys saw I had to make sure the chair was behind me before I did that. It's a planned, coordinated stunt that I do there, you know. So I had to do a chair check, make sure. That's a little behind the scenes life of a stunt man there. I don't even know. All right. RY. He says, this is a second donation from RY before the show even started. What a nice guy. He says, can you do an impression of Roseanne having a heated argument with We Land on the Moon guy about who is going to win the Super Bowl? Jason Brashears might try and sell his software that can predict the outcome. Quests are quite challenging, but I think I'm up to the task. Right when I start the stream, I have this burst of energy, this like dopamine hit from like going live, and we're doing this sort of thing. You know, it's like stepping on stage and playing that first song with a band. It's kind of a similar thing that happens to me. So with this burst of energy, I'm going to try and make it happen. All right. The 49er is my favorite football team, but this year they got their fucking ass kicked in the playoffs, and so this year I'm going to root for the Seattle Seahawks. They are clearly the best football team, my friend, and because the game is in my home state of California, and we have tickets to the game because the game is in beautiful Santa Clara at the Levi Stadium, my friend. It is going to be quite a super spectacular special. And let me tell you, I have bet very much money, my friend, on the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are guaranteed to win.
Well, that's just what a fucking commie would say. Everybody knows Seattle's full of nothing but libtards, like Darlene. And anyone who's rooting for Seattle to win must be a fucking commie. I bet you probably voted for fucking Kamala Harris, you libtard.
That is irrelevant and outside of the point, my friend. Of course I voted for Kamala Harris, but that is because she was clearly the best candidate to be president of the United States. But that is neither here nor there. The 49er got eliminated, and the best team left on the table is the Seattle Seahawks, my friend. They're going to win the Super Bowl. To believe anything
a commie would want you to do, a commie would want you to go on to FanDuel and bet all your money on the fucking losers. Everybody knows if you're a real patriot, you should stand with Trump and you should root for the Patriots. You know, I remember when Tom Brady used to win the Super Bowl, you know, and I tried to acquire some of that dick, but he wasn't interested, you know, because I'm too old.
I really don't want to hear this uncomfortable story, my friend. We are going to have to agree to disagree. Well, let me tell you what. I was drinking some bourbon whiskey inside my coffee this morning. I always have bourbon whiskey in my coffee. And I got myself to thinking, you're much better off sending me $500 and I'll sell you my thumb drive. It literally does tell you that we live in a simulation, brother, and the outcomes of these games can not only be predicted, but they have already happened. What we do, we use very sophisticated technological software, and it is now available on a thumb drive that you can purchase. And what it does is it accesses parallel dimensions artificially using AI. And what we do is we run 100 sextillion simulations, and it recreates what happens in every realm throughout this entire simulation. And it can tell you exactly what's going to happen before it happens. If you buy this thumb drive, it will tell you exactly how to bet so that you can make six figures on the Super Bowl. Now, I would offer a money back guarantee, but I am a convicted criminal, so therefore I am unable to offer any guarantees. Okay, thank you. There you go. That's right. I think I pulled it off. Whew. Wow, what a way to start the show, huh? Sometimes I'm in the middle of doing that, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Oh, yeah. Some guy asked me to do this. So there you go, Rye, getting us started with some super chats. Good times. Big Money Bob gifting out some Jake the Awake memberships. Giving the gift of Jake the Awake. All right. All right. And it looks like I got a recent super chat since I've actually started the stream. And oddly enough, I think he mentions Archaics. Here it is. Hillbilly Hank says, Archaic says hello. I'd like to say hello to a man that needs no introduction at all. He actually does the best impersonation of me. Golly. You know, I wanted to be mad at this guy, but when I saw it, I done fell off my chair. I was LAFMAOing my freaking ass off all over the floor. I mean, I done had a few bourbon whiskeys, but that's neither here nor there, brother, because this man, the reason he needs no introduction is because he's awake to this world being a simulation. But of course, what he doesn't tell you, he learned this information from me on my thumb drive that I sold to him for $500. So what he's doing is he's stealing my intellectual property. All right, there you go. Just goofing off. All right. All right. You guys ready to officially start this show? I think I'm caught up on super chats. Looks like Josini became a pre-member or a premium member. All right, good times. So, last week I was doing the stream and I had a super chat where a fella named Nathaniel Arias, and hopefully he is watching tonight, or maybe he'll see this later. And he gave me two channels to look at because he wanted me to make fun of these channels. And so last night I took a look at one of these channels that he listed, and I found a video that I thought was kind of funny. And so this one is for a super chat request last week when Nathaniel wanted me to check out YouTuber Heavy Duty Country. I had to pull up the video on my end real quick. Here it is. All right. So I had a super chat from Nathaniel last week, and he wanted me to check out this guy, Heavy Duty Country. And this guy has 908,000 subscribers, right? So he's like 9 times bigger than my channel, or 10 times bigger than my channel, right? And he got on this video a day ago, 164,000 views. Wow, 3,100 comments. All right. So that's some pretty good engagement. Heavy Duty Country. I see the check mark. Now, before we even listen to this fella speak, first thing I notice, this fella's got tattoos. This fella looks really big, like he likes to go to the gym. And what is this? Like a beer cup on his shirt. So this is like some sort of gym bro, it looks like. Let's see what he has to say.
Folks, welcome back. Man, we got a wild one today. A sad one, a unfortunate one. And well, we're just going to do it. I'm sure a lot of people saw the Epstein stuff. And if you didn't, we're going to have an episode dropping on that tomorrow. And my God, that is about as sick as it gets.
Right out of the gate. What does he say? Blah, 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 blah. Epstein stuff. And it's as sick as it gets, right? That's this. His motherfucking intro is to go right to fucking Epstein. Right? Funny how I started off my stream talking about how like only tards care about made up Epstein files that come from the mainstream media who had it handed to them by the government. Yeah, those are not credible sources. If you're into truth, then you shouldn't give a flying fuck about Epstein files, right? You could literally tell the sheep at home. Ronald McDonald is on the latest leak of the Epstein files. And Ronald McDonald, he had sexual relations with 33.3 underage women. And people would be like, what? That's fucking disgusting. I can't believe that. I'm never eating at McDonald's again. Honey, did you hear Ronald McDonald? Yes, I did hear. I heard on my way to work that he slept with all those women on Epstein's Island. We're never eating at McDonald's ever again. We're disgusted by Ronald's behavior on Epstein Island, right? They can just tell you any random celebrity. They just pull a celebrity out of their ass. They could be like, oh yeah, the fucking Steve Irwin was on the Epstein Island too. Him too? The fucking crocodile hunter guy who would stick his finger up crocodiles' asses to determine their crocodile sex? Him too? Yes. Apparently Steve Irwin is on the current edition of the Epstein Files with Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Ronald McDonald. They could tell the fucking public that, and the public would buy that story. Here's the thing. How can anyone verify anything about Epstein files? How are you going to verify any of what they tell you? You literally just have to blindly believe whatever it is they tell you is true. And that's what a lot of sheep do. Even people who will claim that they don't trust the government and that they don't trust the mainstream news, they're totally begging for Epstein files. I've had people accuse me of trying to divert attention away from these Epstein files. You're just trying to distract people from the Epstein files, Jake. You must be being paid by Israel. I watch Nick Fuentes, so I'm well informed of guys like you. All right, I'm getting carried away.
But today, what seems important is to continue to try to bring awareness to what is going on with Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk, the entire thing. And
so he's here today. This large man who goes to the gym, this beast of an alpha male, is here today to tell us about Erica Kirk. Another fucking guy still talking about Charlie and Erica Kirk. First thing out of his mouth, Epstein files. Come on, man. Could your government plant any harder, bro? Could you controlled opposition any more, brother, than you already just did? No one who's real starts a fucking video like that. You gotta be on the government payroll to be this big and start your fucking video like that.
I kind of want to put it like this. There are a lot of people out there who are fooled. They're simple-minded. They don't critically think. They don't think outside of the box. They take everything at face value. And
Exactly. And they fall for shit like Epstein files and Erica Kirk possibly killing her husband conspiracy theories, which always suggests that Charlie is for sure dead. And guess where this guy's going to go? Right down that same fucking rabbit hole.
That's kind of what happened with the Epstein stuff. And now people are like, oh, crap, this isn't good. And it's kind of what happened with a bunch of other things. But today, what I want to do is shed a little bit of light on my opinion on what's going on with Erica Kirk, TPUSA, the incident that happened, I don't know, maybe a couple of days after Charlie Kirk's murder. So apparently there was a recording.
All right. So he just referred to Charlie Kirk and that situation. And he didn't say, hey, maybe that was scripted. Maybe that wasn't real, right? So he didn't question the event at all. Let the record show.
Recorded phone call between Erica Kirk and all of her, I don't know if it was the executive team or just a company-wide call or what. But this...
Let me point out that the video name here that we're looking at, the title, leaked video. Just got to laugh at the beginning. Leaked video. Ooh, it's a leak. Call of Erica Kirk, TPUSA. Has me sick. Has him sick to what? To his stomach. This roided up gym bro, right? Who likes to spend his time shooting up roids and pumping iron. And when he's not roiding himself up, and when he's not in the gym, then you might find him in a fucking tattoo chair, mutilating his body. You know, a real fucking patriotic supporter of our Second Amendment right. A guy you can really trust. And he's here to give you his opinion about Erica Kirk and TPUSA, and it made him sick to his stomach. This fella has a tummy ache, y'all. Oh, he's got a tummy ache. The big fucking roided up fucking fat gym bro who thinks he's such a tough, badass son of a bitch. He's got a hurt tummy. He's got a hurt tummy. Oh, poor fella. How did he ever bring himself to make this video with a hurt tum-tum? Oh, my tummy hurts because of leaked video from Erica Kirk. Did you guys hear about leaked video of Erica Kirk? She's not sad about her husband dying enough to my satisfaction. And it hurts my tummy. Oh. Maybe he won't say that.
This phone call left chills in my bones.
It left chills in his fucking bones.
Only way I can say it. She sounds like she is overjoyed. She doesn't know how to act if that's her end goal with.
No, she does know how to act. She's tricking motherfuckers into thinking that she had something to do with her husband's death. And you're quasi pushing that bullshit. Those of us who know the whole thing's scripted know why that actor is acting exactly the way that actor is acting. That actor's doing a fine job at being just happy enough to get people to think that maybe she must be in on her husband's death. And if they get you to think that stupid shit, then they get you to buy into this story that Charlie's dead. And they got you. But they don't got me.
This. And she just sounds extremely not like somebody who just lost a husband brutally.
Hi, everyone.
There it is, plain as day. She sounds like someone who didn't just lose a husband. Yeah, did you ever stop and think that the news is a scripted TV show? No, he doesn't stop and think that. Instead, he's going to go the other way, like all the fucking idiots, and assume she must know something about who killed him. She must be in on it.
everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and the stadium.
Wait a second. Wait, what if
That's the leaked video, you guys. Oh my God. They pulled off an event. What? Can you hear how happy she is? Oh, let's all be outraged because Erica's too happy for our satisfaction. She should be really upset. So therefore, we must conclude that she had something to do with her husband's death. Nope. Not falling for that stupid shit. But this guy is. This guy not only is falling for it, he's shoving this slop to his audience.
event are you talking about? Are you talking about the memorial for your husband? Is that an event? Is that an event? Is that a fucking hockey game? Are we going to a baseball game?
He's clearly emotionally distressed and upset over this leaked video from a character on TV. This motherfucker got an upset stomach, and he's clearly butthurt and making a video about it to show his butthurt displeasure over some shit he saw on TV.
Is it 4th of July at the Houston Astros Stadium and they're going to have fireworks? Because that's sure as fuck what it looked like. It's a memorial for your husband who just got shot in his fucking neck, bled out in front of the entire world.
Is that what happened? One more time. Tell us what happened.
What it looked like. It's a memorial for your husband who just got shot in his fucking neck, bled out in front of the entire world. Not just the people that were there, the entire world.
So clearly, we know this guy's on the payroll. Look at the earpiece back here. Probably has somebody telling him what to fucking say because he's too stupid to read the cue cards properly and do this video. So he probably has someone feeding him lines in this earpiece. The dude just looks like he's on the payroll. So Nathaniel from last week's stream, who sent a super chat, recommended that I check this guy out. And now look, I'm making content out of it. So thank you, Nathaniel. If you're not here watching live tonight, hopefully you see this replay. I appreciate the super chat from last week and the idea to check this guy out. Man, here on YouTube, there's no shortage of guys like this.
And this is 11 days after, and it's like, holy fuck, we pulled off this event. What do you mean you pulled it off? Can we use maybe better words? We put on this amazing celebration of life for my husband. And to be honest with you guys, I am not in any place to celebrate right now. Something like that. Something a grieving woman would say. I don't know if many of you have been so sad to a point where it doesn't matter what's going on. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be stoked. You're not going to be laughing and giggling and whatever the fuck else. You're going to be.
Yeah, I'm upset that you're not sad enough to my satisfaction, man. You're just making me sick to my stomach. Fucking husband got shot in his fucking neck and you're not fucking sad? I think I'm going to go get another tattoo to take away my sorrow. I'm thinking of getting a Grim Reaper on the back of my leg to express how fucking pissed off I am right after I inject some roids into my ass and go bench press some fucking weights with my bros at the gym, bro. All right. There you go. Heavy duty country. 908,000 subscribers. 14,000 thumbs up on that. Oh my God. I can't bear to watch anymore. We've only sat through 3 minutes and I can't do anymore. This guy sucks. 164,000 views in a day. and he's getting quite a bit of engagement. Wow. This just goes to show you that right-wingers, like typical right-wingers, are a dime a dozen. And they like to follow shit like this and listen to shit like this. It's really easy to dupe the right-wingers, like the typical run-of-the-mill right-wingers. Just serve them up some fucking Trump and some anti-woke content. Like, just have any old fella come on screen and be like, I think the left is shitty. Don't you? Subscribe to the channel. I voted for Trump. Like, as long as they do that, they'll have a fan base. Like this guy right here. Typical, like, anti-woke, corral the right-winger type controlled opposition. All right. There we go. So we start with that guy, and that covers our Epstein shit for this evening. It's made up shit. The only reason that they're still talking about the Epstein shit and the Erica Kirk shit is because the public seems to be falling for that extra hard. If people would stop caring, they'd shut up about it and move on. But the public, for whatever reason, cares about these events more so than their other fake news stories. So they're rerunning them over and over again, you know? Like when a movie franchise does well, then they fucking keep making sequels until they run it into the fucking ground. Yeah, that's what they'll do with the scripted news. Oh, look, people fell for this psyop extra hard. Let's just keep fucking running with this psyop over and over again. How many times can we run this protesters versus ICE psyop until we can get people to care? All right. Hi, Rose. Rose says, please remember to thumbs up. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. It does a body good. It does my body good if you hit the thumbs up. No, seriously, though, the algorithm will recognize that if a burst of thumbs up comes in, that I must be doing something awesome. And then it's more likely that they recommend this content to more people. But I've also accepted that I'm never going to wake up the whole world. So mainly, I just want to spread the truth and do what I can to entertain myself before this whole shithole goes up in flames. And it looks like it's about ready to go up in flames any minute now. So while we enjoy the end of this hellhole that we call the Earth, hit the thumbs up. There we go. All right. So let's move on to the next video. Next video. Do you guys want to go with the next possible plandemic? Let's do that. Let's go with the next possible plandemic. And then we'll work our way into NASA going back to the moon. Supposedly. Back. All right. So first off, we got testimony from a doctor. And we know that doctors are way smarter than us normal folk. So this is a doctor. So everybody listen up. She's going to be spitting facts. Dr. Frida, 960,000 subscribers. Got the check mark. Wow, a doctor who's that popular, you know everything she says must be certified and factual.
2 healthcare providers in India just got infected with a virus that kills up to 75% of its victims. It's called the Nipah virus, and the 2 cases were enough to trigger airport screenings across Asia, and they're on high alert right now. I'm Dr. Frida, and I'm going to tell you what and where the Nipah virus is. I'll tell you how it spread. I'll give you the signs and symptoms, and I'm not excited to tell you about the treatment.
Girl, we about to hear some bad news from Dr. Nipah. Y'all, she a doctor. That means she went to school for like a long time. She know all sorts of shit. She really smart, y'all. Dr. Nipah gonna tell you exactly what's going on in the world today.
Listen up.
The prognosis. The Nipah virus comes from fruit bats, and it can make your brain swell until you die. Yes, it causes cerebral edema and encephalitis.
What? What in the flying fuck did you just say? It comes from bats. It can make your brain swell until you die. And it causes supercalifragisticexpialidocious. Holy fucking shit. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get scared.
There's currently no licensed vaccine and no cure.
Oh, shit. You're telling me there's not a chemical concoction to a virus that I never knew existed until just now? Fuck! I wish I would have never clicked on
It
this
was
video.
just confirmed in India in December 2025, and now Singapore, Hong Kong, Thailand, and Malaysia are checking travelers at airports. Nipah virus spreads when people eat fruit that has been contaminated by infected bats. Like if you eat a piece of fruit that has a bat's urine or saliva on it.
Fuck! Every piece of fruit that I have could have bat urine and bat feces and bat saliva all over it. How would I know? There's no way to get that stuff off. Fuck. You guys, I never stopped to think about the amount of bat fecal matter that was on my produce. But she's right. Clearly, if this comes from bats and it makes your brain swell until you die, you and I better be super duper afraid of this shit coming to a United States near you or me, because that's where I live. I don't really care about what happens anywhere else, but if this shit comes to where I live, I'm definitely going to start wearing 3 masks at once. I hope that masks keep this shit away. Otherwise, I don't really have a backup plan.
It can also be spread by close contact with infected animals like pigs.
Oh, shit. Are you telling me if I make out with a pig that I also might get this? It just keeps getting worse and worse. All right, let me read the super chat that came in from Nathaniel Arias, who says, thanks, Jake, for Thanks for covering that, Jake. Nicely done. I was cracking up and glad you did what you do best in exposing his crap. Clown plant for sure. Figured you just shake your head on his joke of content. No, I got your super chat while I was showing the Alex Pretty clips, and so I didn't get a chance to check it out live. But after the live stream, just last night, actually, I went and checked it out and figured I could make fun of him and turn it into content, since he's one of those typical right-wingers who like just keeps talking about Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and fucking milking that same story over and and Epstein files, of course, right? So yeah, I wanted to check that channel out since you sent the super chat. So glad that you enjoyed it. Thank you for sending this super chat that you're seeing right now, brother. I was hoping that you would be here and that you would see it. Then I got another super chat that just came in from FarTree7 with some, I can't even tell what that is. My eyes are getting shitty. What emoji even is that? Some sort of emoji that I can't make out because I looked at my phone too much today when I was making the thumbnail. If I look at my phone too much in any given day, it makes my eyesight blurry. Oh, it's a bat. A bat, of course. RY with another donation says, I hope Trump has a concoction for this soon. Let me tell you what, I have a Nipah virus concoction just for you in the works, but this is a secret. In fact, now that I've already let the cat out of the bag, the Nipah virus may very well be the next plandemic that we have planned for you. And of course, since I am the greatest president that there ever was, I'm going to get hard at work at creating the next vax, the next chemical concoction just for you. In fact, I've got a spokesman here, and he's here to tell you a few words about the upcoming Nipah virus vax. What you need to do is you need to vote for Donald Trump in the next election, even if he's not on the ballot. We need to all vote for Trump in the next upcoming election, and you need to take this Nipah virus concoction. I fully support Donald Trump, and I fully support this chemical concoction. You need to take this chemical concoction. You need to put it inside your veins, and it is going to help you. It's going to warn off the Nipah. The Nipah is going to make your brain swell until you die. Do you want to die? No. Nobody wants to die. They ask me if I want to die. I say no. Hell no. So that is why I will take the chemical concoction live on TV in front of you to prove to everyone that it is very safe. That's right. We're going to have Arnold take the Nipah vax live on TV to prove to everybody that it's safe. All right. Going a little crazy there. Sometimes I go off the rails with these impressions. The Nipah virus is some very serious shit. Clearly. So I should probably not joke about it too much. JP Crucino with 5 gifted Jake the Awake memberships. Wow. Very generous. Giving the gift of Jake the Awake memberships. All right. Let's get back to before we forget, we're under attack possibly by a deadly virus with no cure and no vax, you guys. So let's take this seriously. Dr. Frieda going to break it down.
It is possible to get it from human to human contact, but those cases are believed to be very, very, very rare and would have to come from an extremely prolonged contact, like from a family member providing health care to a patient infected. Nipah virus, fortunately, is not one of those viruses that spreads super easily through aerosolized contact.
Okay, so they're changing up the rules. So this one's not going to behave exactly like COVID, right? So if they have another one that behaves exactly like COVID, people might catch on to it. So they have to have this one be different. If they're going to rerun another plandemic, they're probably going to change up the rules on how this one works, how it spreads, the mortality rates. And so the story that they're going with automatically, there is no cure, no vax yet, but it doesn't spread as easily through humans, but it can through close contact, right? So that she did slip it in that it can spread through close contacts. So if they are going to roll out another plandemic on us, it makes sense that it would be different than the other one in some ways.
From a family member providing health care to a patient infected. Nipah virus, fortunately, is not one of those viruses that spreads super easily through aerosolized contact. It usually takes 3 to 14 days to develop symptoms after being exposed to the virus. Initially, you'll get flu-like symptoms. You might get fever, headache, muscle aches, nausea, vomiting.
Those are all rural things that happen to every human at some point in their life, right? You may get flu-like symptoms. Well, how do I know I didn't just get the flu? Right? Isn't that what people were asking back when the COVID came around? When the flu went away for a while?
And then these symptoms can progress to confusion, seizures. You can even go into a coma within 5 days. As far as treatment and prognosis, there's no specific treatment, just supportive care. And if you get the Nipah virus, you have a 40 to 75% chance of dying.
40 to 75% chance of dying. May as well have said you have a 1 to 100 chance. Between 0 and 100% chance. President Bernie will have a concoction in a few years. You know what? You might be right. Rye, thank you very much for your multiple super chats tonight. This current administration is, quite frankly, it's preposterous. And that's why I'm announcing I'm going to run for president in the next election. And what we're going to do, we're going to develop the first ever vaccine to fully protect people from the incoming Nipah virus, which clearly the Trump administration is thinking about right now. Very serious matter. So you're going to want to vote for me in the next election. People might think I'm too old to be president. Well, let me tell you what, I got more energy left in this body, and I care more about the American people than the current administration ever will. Hey, if Bernie was to say that, people would be like, let's vote for this motherfucker. Bernie, Bernie, Bernie. Right? You know that would happen. I still think there is a chance he could be the next president. It kind of fits the bill. They swing it back and forth, right to left to right to left to right to left. So the next president left, most likely going to be the left, correct? So if you look at the possible people they could go with, another bumbling old guy that they could replace with AI and doppelganger actors, Bernie would be a solid choice. Far Tree 7 says, what do I do if I contract confusion from a cute bat? if you contract confusion from a cute bat. Well, I hate to say it, but you have a 40 to 75% chance of dying. If you were to contract confusion from a really adorably cute bat, your brain could possibly swell up until you die. And there is no cure. There is no chemical concoction to save you from your coma and your brain swelling up and your head exploding and your brain matter shooting and splattering all over the walls for your family members to find and be horrified by. Now, there is a small chance that then your family members could then contract additional confusion and start the whole process all over again. It's a very serious subject. Glad you guys are here to hear me express my opinion about all of this serious shit.
India tracked nearly 200 people who had contact with the infected patients, and every single person tested negative. Right now, we don't believe that there's a wider spread, and according to health officials, the threat to the general public right now is still low. If you plan to travel to Southeast Asia, however, please stay updated on local outbreaks and avoid eating unwashed fruits. Here's the bottom line. The Nipah virus is serious, but it does not spread very easily, and it is not signaling a global emergency. What are your thoughts? Please comment down below and join me on Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time for my live stream, Dr. Frida Live, where we will keep this conversation going. And if you enjoy...
All right. So let's do what she says. Comment down below. What's your initial reaction to just that one video? That short video from Dr. Frida. What's your initial reaction? And then we're going to dive deeper into the Nipah virus shit because it's starting to make its round on the mainstream news circuit. So it's something we got to keep an eye on. It might be nothing, right? They might just sweep this under the rug. Here today, gone tomorrow sort of thing. Or if it gets more and more traction, and then if they shut down the NBA, then we know. Then we know they're going with Plandemic number 2. Nothing to worry about until they shut down a sports league. When they shut down a sports league, that's when you know. It's coming to your town. It's coming to your grocery store. It's going to affect your life. Unless you live way out in bumfuck nowhere. RY says, RFK will ensure the chemical concoction is well tested. I'm sure he'll be all over it. I don't want anyone to be alarmed by what you're hearing about the Nipah virus. The Nipah virus is nothing to be afraid of. In fact, I'm talking to Trump right now about starting analysis on creating a new vaccine. People think that I'm anti-vaccine, but that couldn't be any further from the truth. I actually am very supportive of vaccines that have been proven to work and that are effective. So let me make it clear. Nipah virus is very serious, and I am very serious about finding a cure or developing a vaccine. There you go. Just for you. Right after I dislodged this shit that's stuck in my ass. All right. There you go. Little extra. That was an encore extra piece for you to that impression. All right. Did I cover them all? Nope, got another one that came in. From Doxological Thinker. Glad you could make it, brother. He says, sounds like people are waking up to fruit being fake, and now this might give them an excuse. Well, some people are waking up to some stuff, but a lot of people are still very much asleep, and they might see through the deception, maybe in one small area, but most people don't see the world stage in its entirety. So here we talk about the world stage, meaning like all these actors and celebrities and musicians and politicians, athletes, they're all on the world stage, all putting on a big show, right? So I talk about these scripted events with a world stage emphasis. And so there's still a lot of people that they might wake up to the election being rigged or manipulated, but they're not smart enough to realize that all the presidential candidates are world stage actors. They aren't smart enough to know that they're using AI versions of Donald Trump on TV or AI versions of celebrities now. They aren't smart enough to see that celebrities have been replaced over the last several years. I'm seeing more and more celebrity replacements. Holy shit. Every time I turn on YouTube now, I'm seeing some old celebrity come out and take some political stance. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Who the fuck is this now? This ain't the same guy no more. So your common sheeple might be able to see through, a conspiracy. They might be able to see through a lie here or there, but most 99.99% of everybody is pretty much asleep. And then there's that small percentage of people that run this place that really know what's going on. And then there's this very tiny percentage of us that can see through the bullshit, but we're just people in the debt wage slave system just trying to fucking scrape by, right? So we can't really do shit about it. Wow, that's a whole lot of shit that I just dropped there for that one. Thank you, Doxological Thinker. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion I ain't going to be able to wake up everybody. But I can still tell truth to you guys. RY says, Gottis will suggest raw meat to beat this virus. The only way to cure yourself from this Nipah virus is to eat raw meat. And that is simply because raw meat is the healthiest thing that you can eat. Except for, of course, raw liver. Raw liver is truly the most healthy food in the world. Now, one of my favorite delicacies is to eat bull scrotum. Bull testicles drive me nuts. I am not even kidding. The taste of raw bull testicles is one of the most satisfying things I have ever put in my mouth. I generally crave testicles. There you go. It is literally the only thing that will cure the Nipah virus. In fact, cure is not even the right word. It will actually keep you from ever getting Nipah virus to begin with. So therefore, you will never actually have to be cured because you will never fucking have the Nipah virus to even begin with. There you go. Coming through with the Goatis impersonation, and he's still on the run from the law, hiding out in an undisclosed location in some third world country.
Joy evidence.
Oh yeah, let's move on to the next video. All right, let's move on to the mainstream media shit talking about the Nipah virus. That's when you know you might have to worry about another possible plandemic, is if the mainstream media keeps talking about it over and over and over again. So we'll see where this goes. Could be nothing, or it could be the very beginning to the next plandemic. I really hope not. I didn't enjoy, I should say, that last plandemic. It fucking sucked. So I kind of hope that we don't have one of those ever again. But I can hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first.
Says it is fully prepared to detect and monitor the Nipah virus after reports of a new outbreak in India, while health authorities are stepping up screening measures at airports.
Well, could the next pandemic make the height of the COVID-19 outbreak look mild? That's what some experts are predicting for what's being called Disease X.
So I am very worried that we just don't, we as a nation, we haven't made that commitment to really fully protect the American people.
We caught up with internationally recognized Dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor and co-director of the Texas Children's Hospital Center for Vaccine Development, Dr. Peter Hotez, who's traveling to get his take on the topic.
We have a likelihood that new pandemic threats, that people call them Disease X, are going to be rising on a regular basis.
And Dr. Hotez says Disease X, the next pandemic, could hit hard whenever it arrives.
Look, guys, that's definitely a fucking killer Nipah. I recognize those Nipahs anywhere. Look, see? You can't fake shit like this. That's actual scientific proof of some killer Nipahs.
Why do you think some experts are predicting the next pandemic will make COVID-19 look like a walk in the park?
I've written about this as well. I wrote for the Houston Chronicle a couple of months back that COVID-19 is just the warm-up act. The next pandemic may not be as severe, but it could be much more severe.
Uh-oh. That sounds like they're laying some groundwork, right? Putting these thoughts in our heads that the next one could be, probably will be even worse, right? That's not fear-mongering at all.
The Department of Medical Sciences said the National Institute of Health is ready to detect Nipah virus in suspected patients using real-time RT-PCR tests, which offers high sensitivity and accuracy. The test can be performed on multiple sample types, including blood, respiratory secretions, spinal fluid, and urine, with results available within 8 hours. No case Nipah virus has been reported in Thailand so far. However, health officials are encouraging the public to take basic precautions, including avoid contact with animals that carry the virus, washing fruit thoroughly before eating.
Guys, if you want to avoid the Nipah virus, avoid contact with animals that have the Nipah virus. Duh! What are you, stupid? Of course, just don't hang out with animals that have Nipah. Otherwise, you might catch the Nipah, you fucktards. Can you believe these stupid people at home have to be told not to hang out with animals that have Nipah? Otherwise, you might get Nipah. But you do.
And washing hands after handling animals, raw meat or animal carcasses, especially bats, pigs, horses, cats, goats, and sheep. Meanwhile, Chiang Mai International Airport has coordinated with international disease control officers to introduce proactive screening measures, similar to those used during the outbreaks of COVID-19 and MERS. These include temperature screening for all incoming international passengers, distribution of health advisory cards, and stricter checks on travel history for passengers arriving from or transiting through outbreak areas within the past 14 to 21 days. Although there are currently no direct flights from India to Chiang Mai, authorities say they remain alert for transit passengers.
All right, I noticed that I missed a super chat earlier. I looked back, and every once in a while, one of them will slip by me. I apologize. Hopefully, Devil's Very Own is still here. Uh-oh. With a name like that, you have to wonder if this literally is the devil here talking to us. He says HDC got big during 2020. He preyed on weak minds. HDC got big during 2020. I can't even think of who HDC is. Who's HDC? Does anyone know who that is? Who he's talking about? This was a super chat that came in a while ago. So now I'm like confused. We'll get right back to the Nipah virus in a second. Does anyone know who this is? Oh, heavy duty country. That's right. So yeah, I missed this super chat while I was talking about the heavy duty country guy. Sorry about that, Devil's Very Own, for missing your super chat, but thank you very much for sending the super chat. That totally makes sense that that guy's channel got big back in 2020. That's when people were most susceptible to guys who are scamming them, like Owen Benjamin, for instance. Owen Benjamin got like hundreds of thousands of dollars donated to him in 2020 by telling people he would build them a paradise where they could come camp and live for free. And then he took the land and put a house on it and then told people they could come hang out for one weekend. And then he limited it to only select people that he chose to come for one weekend out of the year. Gotta love it. Anyone remember that shit when Owen Benjamin preyed on everyone in 2020 and got a shitload of donations? And now he lives in a big house on that land. No one's allowed on it.
Showing symptoms such as high fever, headache, or respiratory problems will be transferred immediately to a designated hospital under public health response plans.
After years of pandemics popping up, including SARS and H1N1 early in the 2000s,
Ebola in 2014, we had Zika in 2016, and now we've got COVID-19.
Dr. Hotez says that's why the U.S. Office of Pandemic Preparedness was created, but he believes more should be done.
All right. RY says, before the convid scam, there are videos some lady published showing how to make flowers that look just like spiky balls out of Q-tips, which were used to swab the nose to test for the virus. Yeah, man, I never allowed them to test me for that shit. And man, that was a crazy time because I was singing in nursing homes at the time, and my business got absolutely decimated in like a day and a half. All the facilities stopped allowing outside visitors, and so they called up all the entertainers, canceled all our gigs. And then when I saw the casinos shut down too, I was like, oh fuck, they're shutting down casinos too. That's when I knew, like, oh shit, this is not like anything they've ever done before, right? So yeah, when they started slowly opening back up the nursing homes, and I started getting offered gigs again, I'd show up and they'd be like, okay, we need to give you a swab before you can go in and perform. And you have to perform with a mask. And then I'd just fucking turn around and leave. Nope, that's not happening. So I ended up coming back to YouTube full time. So believe it or not, the 2020 shit and all that shit that went down, you know, with everybody acting crazy and all that jazz. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons I came back to YouTube. Thank you, RY, for the multiple donations. I appreciate it, brother.
The funds available to make countermeasures for new diagnostics, new vaccines, and at the same time, being able to support the virologists, the scientists who actually study these pathogens.
Why are we seeing so many pandemics?
It's one of the most common questions I'm asked. It's a confluence of 21st century forces. A big one is climate change, which is altering the migration of animals. That
climate change, you guys, which alters where bats poop on fruit, which makes Nipah kill you faster. Climate change. Right? That's the mental gymnastics you have to do. Well, because of global warming, which we now call climate change, it makes the bats like migrate to areas and shit on fruit more frequently. And then because there's a decrease in the job market right now because the economy's bad, there's not enough people to wash the piss and shit off the fruit effectively enough. So therefore, there's more people catching Nipah virus. It's really a very simple answer when you break it down. And then I love what it says here. It says, scientists say future pandemic could be worse than COVID-19. Scientists, you guys. All of them, I guess. Which scientists? Just general. Whenever anyone says scientists say, I disregard the rest of what they have to say. I don't know about you guys, but if I hear any fucking sheeple ever start any sentence with, well, scientists say that blah, 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 don't fucking want to hear what this stupid sheeple has to say, because I don't care. Anytime someone's like, oh, well, scientists say, I always want to be like, well, which scientists? Name them. And then I will go look them up and decide if their opinion is fucking credible. And it's probably going to be not credible. Who pays these scientists? What if these are scientists who are employed by the government to fucking lie? Huh? You can be a scientist who's paid to fucking lie. That's a thing, you know. A scientist who gets paid to do an experiment that's been fucking manipulated to give certain data to reflect a certain outcome so that then they can say that scientists fucking say. RY says Jack Morgan reporting on the new virus. Oh, and I see I got one from JP Crisino. Let me get JP Crisino since his came in first, and then I'll get to Jack Morgan. So JP Crisino says OB moves the goalposts like ski poles and propels himself with them. OB. Now I'm confused again. Who's OB? Odell Beckham? You talking about Odell Beckham, bro? Seriously, I'm like, OB? I don't know who you're talking about. So that means I'm going to have to hold off on that while you explain. Explain it to my stoner ass. You know, I'm very smart. I'm very awake, but sometimes I get confused, and I'm not afraid to admit it. All right. RY wants me to do Jack Morgan reporting on the Nipah virus. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Gonna get a little crazy. Gonna get a little wow, if you know what I mean. We're just talking out of our ass. Buckle up. Maria. All right. We sound good. So, yeah, I was just telling Nestor, isn't it crazy that this new Nipah virus is like this new thing that could be the next pandemic? Yeah, I remember the last pandemic sucked. I didn't go skateboarding for like 6 months. Yeah, everybody was wearing a mask, and I was too. Yeah, crazy. Little out there. Little wow. Let's get into it right now. Wow, that's crazy. Did you know that you're like 40 to 75% chance that you could die if you catch Nipah? It's a good talk. Buy a Caddy Daddy t-shirt. You can call my number and talk to me directly. It's $4.99 a minute. All right. There you go. There's a little Jack Morgan. Little Jack Morgan for that ass. Owen Bigaboo. Bertaria. Oh, Owen Benjamin. I was talking about heavy duty country earlier, and somebody put HDC, and I'm like, I have no idea who that is. And then I was just talking about Owen Benjamin, and you put OB, and I'm like, have no idea, bro. Owen Benjamin, of course. My bad. Yeah, Owen Benjamin. For those of you who've never heard of him, who don't know the tale of Owen. So in 2020, he basically started this GoFundMe, and he said that if you donate, he's going to buy this piece of land where you can come hang out for free, and it's going to be where like-minded people and truthers hang out, and they're going to build a basketball court and a tennis court, and there's going to be a pool and a jacuzzi, and they're going to have the archery and hunting and campfire stories, and they're going to make s'mores, and they're going to have a child's Bible study Sundays. Like literally, I'm not making this up. Like all those things that I just rattled off were like all mentioned in one way or another. So he got people to buy into this idea, and he said, you need to, if you want to be able to stay on the property, you have to at least donate $400. And so within like weeks, however long he had up this GoFundMe, he got hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can't remember the exact number, but I want to say it was like $300,000 to $400,000. And then he purchased this plot of land, and then he built a house on it. And then he had a little comedy show where he allowed certain guests of his choosing to stay on the property for one weekend. And he did that like, I don't know, 2-3 times. Maybe he still does that. But still, he allows a few guests to stay on the property for one weekend. But the initial promise that he sold people was that it was going to be like a truther community hangout place, right? A truther communion. Thank you, JP Crisino. I appreciate the multiple super chats.
Can transmit these viral pathogens.
Now, no one knows when disease X, the next pandemic, will hit, but scientists say it is coming.
Especially the disease X, it's attracting a lot of attention.
Aren't we glad we have the news here to give us the facts? And the facts are
transmit these viral pathogens.
Now, no one knows when disease X, the next pandemic, will hit, but scientists say it is coming.
So scientists say it is coming. So it's for sure, 100% it's coming. And scientists say, which scientists? They don't need to tell us. How many scientists? They don't need to tell us. Who employs these scientists and pays their checks? They don't need to tell us that either. None of that's important. What's important is that scientists say the next pandemic's coming for sure. And look at this creature here. What is it about news anchors where they have to look like a fucking total creature? Look at this neck, right? That's the neck of a creature man. Only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a creature man. Yes, he was. I mean, he was. Oh, yes, he is. He's the son of a creature man. Son of a creature man.
Especially the disease X, it's attracting a lot of attention. And I hope you have seen in the social media. But it's not a new idea. The first time we used the terminology was in 2018. The discussions were in 2017. I was just new Director General. As you know, we annually list the emerging diseases. And MERS could be one.
We do very many experiments on these diseases. These diseases that they do the experiment very many times. We know that this one more deadly than the last one. Very technically accurate information that we give these diseases. Doxological Thinker says, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the new virus somehow got connected to the Epstein file. Bro, you could mix in all this horse shit and people would believe it. So apparently all right, let me try and think. Now I have to try and think of a new Epstein file leak. So apparently, guys, I don't know if you guys found this out, but on Epstein Island is where the very first fruit bat was born that had the Nipah virus. The very first fruit bat that ever shat on a piece of fruit. And then while all these sickos, all these P-doos hanging out on Jeffrey's Island, they were doing all that perverted stuff. Yeah, they didn't even notice bats were shitting on the fruit on the island. And so in between their sexual deviant acts with the underage women, they were also eating a tropical fruit covered in bat shit. And then when they came back to the United States, they spread the Nipah virus. And it's been dormant for years, and it's now resurfacing. That's another thing. The Nipah virus can be dormant for years and then come back. And that's what happened. It was dormant for a long time. And now it's coming back to the surface. I mean, if you can tell people that you can test positive for COVID but have zero symptoms and be asymptomatic, then you can tell people that viruses go dormant for a while and then come back. They'd believe that. As sure as shit as I just made that up, if it came on the news, sure as shit, people would believe it. Like if this motherfucker here repeated what I just said and just polished it up a bit, motherfuckers would believe that, especially if it came on the television.
Zika, Ebola, those we know. But then we said there are things that are unknown that may happen. And anything happening is a matter of when, not if. So we need to have a placeholder for that, for the disease we don't know that may come. And that was.
I had another super chat come in. Says from Rex James, says, "Sup, Jake? I am late to the show. How many truth bombs did I miss? And what did you think the last name will be for the next Ice Pew Pew event? Will be pretty good." They might veer away from the pretty good thing, right? They might switch it up and give us something boring, like Smith with 2 H's, right? Just to throw us off. Like, too many people pointed out pretty good. Like, oh yeah, what are the chances some lady's name is good? Like, how many fucking people do you know whose last name is good? And then of course pretty and pretty good, right? So then the next one, they might just fuck with us and have it be like Jones, but with a Z instead of an S. Something like that. Anyway, tonight, yeah, I dropped a few truth bombs here and there. I talked about how the Epstein files are bullshit that no one can verify for themselves. So why listen to what the mainstream media has to say if they're getting the information from the government? And I also talked about this Nipah virus shit here for, I don't know, the last 20 minutes or whatever. So, yeah, there you go. Thanks for the super chat, and I appreciate it, Rex James.
When we gave the name Disease X. So Disease X is a placeholder for unknown disease.
It is the known disease. The disease X is going to be the worst disease that you ever had. It make you instantly go doo-doo number 2 in your pantalon. You very much will not like this. It make your body have diseases, called diseases. Diseases.
I just wanted to start by clarifying that because there is already a lot of attention. If I may, although COVID came immediately, we were preparing for COVID-like disease. You may even call COVID as the first disease X. So whether it's in health systems or even the private sector, by the way, in research and development, for instance, you can prepare for it. Actually, it started with this Disease X issue with a research and development blueprint. It's a blueprint. And research and development should be at the center also to test drugs, to test other tools.
The move involves close coordination between multiple health agencies.
All right. I got some super chats coming in. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty scared of this new virus. I mean, scientists already told us that for sure the next Plandemic is coming. So that means it's guaranteed coming soon. Sear says, low energy Trump taking a dump in his colostomy bag in front of Stephen Hawking. So quite frankly, I don't have as much energy as I usually have today. And that is because I believe I may have caught the very dangerous Nipah virus. And I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but the Nipah virus did make me take a dump in my colostomy bag. And unfortunately, I was in the middle of a discussion with Stephen Hawking. Unfortunately, he had to witness me taking a severe dump due to the illness, the effects of the Nipah virus. Now, I'm stronger than the average man, president you've ever known. So no Nipah virus is going to kill me. And I'm already hard at work at finding the cure. We're getting our chemicals together. We're going to concoct something for you. We're going to have a cure for you. And I'm going to have people working around the clock. We have Trumptricity. powering all your homes very soon. It's just low energy Trump. All right, there you go. Low energy Trump in front of Stephen Hawking. And what does Stephen Hawking have to say? That's what he has to say about that. All right. I think I had one come in before that. Oh, shit. Thought I saw one that had Stallone in it. Here it is. My bad. RY sent this one a little earlier, and it flew on by, and I missed reading it. But I'm reading it right now. And he says, I wonder Stallone's take on the virus ideas.
Hey, I was getting a little bit disturbed when I was watching the news, I turned on the nightly news, they started talking about what the scientists say about this new Nipah virus, and after I lost Adrian to COVID, I've been very scared of illnesses, so, I've been taking extra precautions, I've been even wearing a mask when I go out and I go grocery shopping. And, I was telling Polly on the phone, hey, Polly, I think this Nipah virus, I think it's something to be afraid of, I don't want to admit that I'm scared, but I'm scared, all right? All right? You think I'm dumb? You think I got no brains? You think I want to be afraid of the Nipah virus? I don't want to be afraid. But I'm afraid, all right? Admit it. I'm not ashamed. I'm afraid, all right?
There you go. That's what Sly Stallone thinks about that. Let me make sure I caught up on all the super chats. Looks like one more came in from Doxological Thinker. And he says, my theory is the last name will be the name of a fruit like blueberries. Also, this guy is just spewing a bunch of word salad. Yeah, man. Who knows exactly what the name of the person will be, but I'm actually thinking we might see a ICE officer at some point get supposedly killed by a protester. So it might be the ICE officer's name next time that might be funny, right? So you have to consider that they can go the other way with the script, and they could say some deranged ICE protesters set up an ambush and killed an ICE officer or multiple ICE officers, right? And then that would fuel the right-wingers to be like, these motherfuckers need to all be put into prison and executed. Get rid of all these ICE protesters. I can't believe they're out there killing ICE officers, right? So they could totally get people to take the side of the ICE officers if they're fucking right-wingers who are standing with ICE already. If they run a story that the ICE officers got ambushed by some ICE protesters and killed, and memorials are being held for their family, right? Then they could really sink this psyop in from both ways, right? So now both sides has dead bodies, right? So right now it's ICE officers are killing citizens. So you have to figure at some point citizens retaliate against the ICE officers. To me, that's just a logical script that should be heading our way. And Brian from High Impact Vlogs even said that that could happen next, almost like he was planting seeds for that happening.
Agencies to ensure rapid diagnosis and effective clinical care. Officials stated that while no cases have been detected in Thailand, their proactive stance is necessary to safeguard the public and maintain national health security. The Department of Medical Services has designated Rajwithi Hospital Lurtsin Hospital, and Noparat Rajthani Hospital as the primary facilities to receive suspected and confirmed cases. These institutions have been instructed to mobilize specialist teams, prepare isolation wards, and ensure an adequate supply of essential medicines and medical equipment. Furthermore, medical experts are collaborating to develop standardized treatment guidelines that will be distributed to healthcare providers nationwide to ensure a unified and effective response.
Still, I see people wearing the diaper. There's still people at the grocery store when I go out and about that I still see people wearing the diaper on their face. So we're still feeling the effects from the last plandemic. And here they are talking about the next plandemic. And of course, this face diaper is going to cut down the chances that you get Nipah. At least that's what they'll tell the sheep. Except this time, you got to wear one over your eyes as well. Because it can go through your eye. They can make up some funny shit like this time. You have to wear it over your nose and mouth and your eyes if you truly want to be protected. Now, if you cut eye holes into the top layer, you won't be as protected. Just letting you know.
Nationwide to ensure a unified and effective response. Laboratory readiness has also been confirmed by the Department of Medical Sciences. Through the National Institute of Health, authorities are prepared to perform diagnostic testing using the RT-PCR method, which can detect viral genetic material from blood, throat, and nasal secretions, cerebrospinal fluid, and urine. To ensure accuracy, at least 2 types of specimens will be collected per patient. Testing results are expected to be delivered within 8 hours of sample receipt, enabling health officials to initiate swift containment and treatment strategies if needed.
Whoa! Swift containment?
Officials to initiate swift containment.
Yeah. So imagine you go through a screening and then they say you tested positive for disease X, whatever. So you are therefore being forcefully quarantined, contained, and you have to be transported to a medical facility immediately. And you don't have a choice. Imagine if that happens. Shit would get real fast then, wouldn't it? Rex James says, Jake, did you hear the BS story NASA leaked saying we are going to lose gravity for 7 seconds in August of this year? If so, your thoughts? No, that's no way. I haven't heard that at all, actually. But since NASA is the next subject that we're going to talk about here very shortly, because they're talking about going back to the moon, I can check the story out and we can look into it here live. Lose gravity for 7 seconds. All right. Just so I don't forget, since the next thing we're going to talk about is NASA, I'll write it down and we'll cover it tonight. Where my pen went. Anyway, so yeah, losing gravity for that just sounds ridiculous. So I'll look and see if there's like a news article or a video attached to it, and we'll check it out.
And treatment strategies if needed.
All right. So there you go. Mainstream media talking about this Nipah virus. All right. So I guess we could move on to the NASA stuff. NASA's talking about going back to the moon, which is hilarious because they never went to the moon in the first place, and nothing can land on the moon. The moon is obviously not an object that you can land upon. The moon is like the sun, except it's different. It's the night light. The sun is the daylight. And you can't ever go to the sun or land on the sun, and you can't ever go to the moon or land on the moon either. Not because it's too hot, not because it's too cold. It's because those are magical things in the sky that are not physical. Not physical in the way that they tell us. The moon is not a gray rock, and the sun is not a giant fireball. So the story is that the moon is a gray rock 238,000 miles away, and that humans have walked upon it in the 60s. And the sun is a gigantic fireball 93 million miles away. That's the accepted scientific story that we're told. Meanwhile, you look in the sky, you see a moon and the sun, both in the sky at the same time during certain parts of each month. And they're both about the exact same size. When you see the sun on the horizon, it's a little bigger than when it's right up over your head. And when you see the moon on the horizon, it's a little bigger than when it's right up over your head. And when you see the sun and the moon directly across from each other, they're both about the exact same size. It looks like they indeed are the same size. And you know what? Mainstream science, what they say, that the sun's 400 times bigger exactly, and exactly 400 times farther away. And so it just appears to look the same size as the moon. And the fact that your human eye staring from Earth can see both of them and see that they look like they're the same size and they eclipse each other just perfectly. Just a stroke of cosmic luck that the giant fireball and the giant fucking gray rock just so happen to cross each other's path and look to be the exact same size, just perfect. It's a total fucking crazy cosmic accident illusion, is what they tell us. That's the accepted scientific story. And I'm supposedly the crazy guy if I'm like, yeah, I don't believe that. The sun is not 93 million miles away in a gigantic fireball. The moon is not a gray rock that humans walked on. Suddenly, I'm considered a cuckoo, crazy conspiracy theorist for not believing their horse shit story that doesn't make fucking sense and hinges on astronomical cosmic luck. Mike 6 says, yo, Jake, if we are spinning on a magic ball 1,040 miles an hour, how come I see Big Dipper and North Star in the same place every night? Take it one step further. If humans have been here for 1,000 years, right? How come we haven't seen the stars change position over time? You know, like humans thousands of years ago and then humans today. Like, well, if we were shooting through space that whole time, we should be moving along and we should be seeing new stars after a while, right? So shouldn't we be leaving the old stars behind and seeing new stars? Shouldn't the positions of the stars over time, because we're not just moving, the stars are also shooting in different directions at astronomical speeds. So how come the shape of the Big Dipper doesn't change over time? How come the shape of all the constellations don't change over time? And you know what the story is? They're too far away. And your life here on Earth is just a tiny little blip in time. And humanity is just a tiny little blip in time. So even though humans have been here for a long time and have been looking up at the sky for a long time, and we're supposedly shooting through space day after day, year after year, decade after decade, century after century, still all the stars still appear to be in the exact same spot because they're just so far away. That's their answer. Everything's so far away that your little tiny human brain just can't fathom how far it really is. And your life is so short and insignificant that you're just never going to see the positions of any of that stuff in the sky change. And neither did your grandpa, and neither will your children or your children's 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 children. No one's ever going to see the constellations look any different. But all that stuff is in opposite directions at unfathomable speeds all the time. That's their story, man. And they're sticking to it. And your little human eye here on Earth is seeing distant fireballs that just so happen to take the shape of a spoon and stay that way. Right? Simpy to Simp says, great live, laid up in hospital because I had a seizure from alcohol withdrawal. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're catching a little bit of enjoyment from this stream tonight, brother. He said, 3 fractured vertebrae and nearly bit my tongue off. Let it be a warning, our awesome community, evil alcohol, ha 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 ha. So I never got addicted to alcohol enough to have that severe of withdrawals. I was more of like a nightly beer drinker who would drink a couple tall cans basically almost every night. And so I've given that up, and now I rarely drink. So I haven't quit 100%. Every once in a while, I still get the urge to have a drink. But I've basically reduced my alcohol consumption down to almost nothing. And so luckily, I've not faced any of these withdrawal consequences that you're going through. So that sucks to hear, buddy. So hopefully you get through it and you put down that poison. And if you're a person who is addicted to the point where you think it might cost you your life or it has ruined your life, then you should definitely consider, doing whatever you can to stay sober and ditch that poison. So good luck to you. Hopefully you can get sober, and hopefully your health returns back to normal or as close as it could be. Thanks for the donation, Simpy to Simp. All right, let me pull up this new NASA video. Oh, that's the wrong one. So they're planning on going back to the moon. That's their story. They're sticking to it.
Well, extreme cold has forced NASA to reschedule its next moon mission. Tonight, the massive Artemis II rocket stands on Launch Pad 39B at the Kennedy Space Center. Like Apollo 8 in 1968, it won't land on the lunar surface. CBS's Mark Strassman on why this latest mission is considered groundbreaking.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. During NASA's first lunar era, 24 Apollo astronauts, all white American men, flew around the moon or walked on it. More than a half century later, Commander Reed Wiseman leads an Artemis II crew that redefines what today's NASA stands for, not America's 60s astronauts.
It's getting more real.
Astronaut Christina Cook will be the first woman to see the moon up close.
Obviously, there'll be a lot of girls of all ages watching. Is that important to you that they look at you and say, that could be me?
We're in this world where we've chosen that everyone who has a dream gets to work equally hard to achieve that dream. That if you have something to contribute, you're welcome at the table.
Kind of a big, broad chin here on this broad. So the first thing that they said that caught my attention, they aren't going to land on the moon. These motherfuckers aren't actually going to land on the moon. So y'all are just going to drive by the moon? Oh, and this lady here, she's going to be the first ever lady to see the moon up close. I was the first ever lady that got to see the moon up close. Little girls everywhere think I'm a hero and they envy me. There's going to be a lot of little girls watching this event. Yeah, right. Little girls don't give a flying fuck about the first female to see the moon up close. Young people don't fucking care about space. They don't. Young people don't give a flying fuck about space. Kids are more retarded now than ever. It's because their parents became super retarded and gave birth to fucking retarded children who look at their phone all the time and have no common sense. So they don't even learn about space enough to know anything, and they just don't care, right? Fake space doesn't affect their life in any way, so they just don't care. Oh, says I missed a few super chats. Shit, I totally did, didn't I? Yes, lemming in a shiny metal. Sorry, guys, I stepped away for a second. I had to use the restroom, and I ran back, and I missed a couple super chats while I was gone. So, lemming in a shiny metal box says, "Good evening, Sir Jake. Excellent stream. Do you think glasses and contact lenses are necessary, or do you think we can correct our own vision without them?" You know, I can't say. I would guess that it's probably bad for you, but that's not my area of expertise at all. So my guess is like it might temporarily correct your vision, but then they always say that, you know, that your vision gets worse if you're wearing glasses, and that you need thicker and thicker glasses, right? And so you don't see people going and getting thinner and thinner glasses until the doctor's like, "Wow, your vision's now better," right? So it's almost like really correct or help your vision, but they also in the long term harm your vision, if that makes sense. That's what I think is going on. But I don't know. I refuse to go pay for the glasses, and so I noticed that if I don't look at my phone, my eyes see pretty good. And then if I stare at my phone and make a thumbnail and like edit a video on my phone, and I have prolonged time staring at the phone screen, then I look up and everything's totally blurry. So tonight everything's slightly blurry because before the stream I spent some time like staring at my phone, making a thumbnail and fucking posting shit. So yeah, but I just ignore it. I'm not gonna go get glasses. So I'm not the best guy to ask about that, but I would guess that they're probably not good for your eyes, which is why they're always prescribing thicker and thicker glasses. So thank you, Lemming in a shiny metal box, for your generous donation. I appreciate that, sir. You're a longtime supporter of the channel. I'm going back right now, making sure I didn't miss any other super chats. And thank you, RY, for reminding me that I missed some super chats. KJ says, "Handsome woman. That do look like a lady. That do look like a lady. Do look like a lady. Do look like a lady. Yeah. Cow. Whoa, I got a little crazy there with my whack-a-cack-a cow. Got carried away with my whack-a-cack-a cows. Whew. You guys ever get carried away with your whack-a-cack-a cows? Because I sure do. weird. It's weird humor. You have to be a weirdo to like my humor.
That dream, that if you have something to contribute, you're welcome at the table.
That's good. Yeah, a little less.
Victor Glover, the mission pilot, will become the first moon-bound black astronaut. He recalled for us, telling his family.
He's gonna be the first moon-bound black astronaut. Motherfucker gonna do a drive-by of the moon. They ain't even gonna let this motherfucker step foot on the moon. Sorry, Mr. Black Man. Sorry, lady. The best you get is an up-close look. You don't actually get to walk on the moon. Now, you see, some white men pulled that off back in 1969. All right, it's been done already. But now in 2026, the best we can do is fly by and take a look. So stupid. How the fuck is anyone not pointing this out? Even normies should be like, hey, wait a minute. You guys landed on the moon back in like the late 60s, early 70s, multiple times. But now in 2026, with all this technology available, you're just going to like drive by the moon, do a flyby, and then come back home. Not even going to get out and walk around. No rover. You know what they're not going to do? They're not going to land on the moon. Not going to land on the moon. Not going to land on the motherfucking moon. Not going to land on the motherfucking moon. They're not going to take the rover. Not going to the moon. They're never going to come back soon. They don't rove to the left. They don't rove to the right. They're never going to rove all night. They don't go to the moon. Not go to the moon. They're not going to the motherfucking moon. There you go. There you go. They're not going to the motherfucking moon. And no, my friend, they will not go back soon.
And when I told them, they erupted. Let's go. I'm about to start crying right now. I needed that. I didn't even know I needed it.
And Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, the first non-American on a moon mission. Do you feel?
We got a lady, a black guy, and a non-American gonna get to see the moon up close. Guys, the world is evolving in a very good way. All right, this is wonderful. I never thought I would get to see the day a lady, a black man, and a non-American get to fly by the moon. It makes me proud. It makes me proud to be an American. Because at least I know I'm free. And with Artemis, gonna take a black guy and some lady to see the moon. And they also are bringing some non-American. He's gonna see it too. And that's why I'm proud of the red, white, and blue. I love you, America. God bless America. And God bless Artemis. And God bless these men and women.
Responsibility representing Canada?
I certainly do. I guess after all these years as an astronaut, I've just come to the perspective that all I have to do in this world is just bring my best.
Over 10 days, Artemis II will launch from Florida and head 250,000 miles to the moon.
238,000 miles to the moon. That's their number. I keep track of this number because most normies who believe in this shit, they don't keep track of none of that. So if they want to treat me like I'm a fucking moron, I'll be like, how far is the moon in your model? Most people don't know. They'll think that I'm a fucking moron because I believe that the earth is flat. But then if I ask them how far the moon is in their own model, they don't know. So I keep track of shit that I know is wrong so I can destroy anyone who thinks they're going to fucking call me out for not believing in this.
It's a practice run for an actual moon landing. NASA hopes by 2028.
Look at this. See, it's a practice run for a moon landing they hope to have in 2028. So they got to go on a drive-by practice run in order to hopefully get it right in 2028. Hey, didn't y'all go there back in 1969? These motherfuckers went there in 1969. Right? Pretty sure that's what their story is, right? But now, in 2026, they need a practice drive-by in order to maybe go back in 2 years from now. These motherfuckers have been kicking the can down the road for quite a while. I could have swore 10 years ago, they were like, we're planning on going back to the moon in a couple years. And then they just keep delaying it and shoving back the date and shoving back the date. I think that's their plan, is just keep kicking the can down the road until everybody who was alive when NASA did these missions finally dies. Right? They're just going to keep kicking the can down the road until everyone who remembers this story is dead. I think that's the plan. We're going back in 2050. Hopefully. And then 2050 comes. So the plan is we're going to practice a few more times and make sure so that by 2060 we can for sure go back.
This mission compares to an...
All right. This, of course, is the 1969 lunar module, which they claim landed on the moon, which, as you can see, appears to be a homeless tweaker shelter. But some folks call that a well-crafted spaceship. It landed on the moon and did its job just perfectly. And it returned the men home safely. Yeah. Meanwhile, if you zoom in on that son of a bitch, it looks like it's held together with scotch tape and tinfoil and curtain rods. But your nearest space fanboy will say, no, that's gold foil. It's golden foil, and it's super expensive and scientific. And those are titanium rods. And it's not scotch tape. It's space tape. That's what they'll tell you. All right. But they're going back to do a drive-by, y'all. It's good news.
Another pre-landing test flight, Apollo 8 in 1968. Its crew took this iconic image, Earthrise. Cook hung it on her bedroom wall growing up.
We're now back in a world where we travel to the moon. And I think that the pictures we send back will be the new norm for anyone who wants to put them on their walls in their bed.
In this, NASA's second lunar era, Artemis II will be a series of firsts. Mark Strassman, CBS News, at the Kennedy Space Center.
All right, so I got a super chat saying I'm missing more super chats. Let me go back and look at them one by one. Missing the super chats. Handsome woman. Jake, you missed a few other super chats. I read that. Lemming in a shiny metal box. I read his. Mike 6. I read his. Simpy to Simp. Read that one. Oh, I think I missed the one from Joe E.G.G. Jewy Gigi says, good show, right on as usual. Always love the Rocky. My bad, Jewy Gigi, Joey Gigi, whatever your name is, bro. I don't want to call you I don't want to call you Jewy Gigi if it's Joey, if it's Joe Egg. Or maybe it's J. Joe Egg. I really dislike the handles. I hate them. I wish we could go back to just regular names. They changed it for some reason, and there's no option for me to change it. But anyway, Jewy GG, Joey GG. Sorry for missing your super chat, brother. Glad you're enjoying the show. Oh, shit. And I missed one from LaFleur as well. Damn. Oh, and one from, oh my God, I did miss a bunch of them. Okay, my bad. Let me go back and read all these. My bad, you guys. It happens. Dang, I missed a bunch of them, didn't I? And you want me to do the nice diaper video at the casino? I'll have to try and find it. I haven't looked that one up in a long time. I can't remember if that's on my other channel, the Jake Gibson channel, or not. All right, I'll try and show that just after I catch up on all these super chats that I've missed. Damn. Thought I was doing a good job keeping up on all of them, and apparently there was a couple that snuck in while I wasn't paying attention somehow. One of the things that people don't understand about science is that science already has it figured out, bro. You're just lucky enough that science allows you to figure it out. And let me tell you, scientists know that the Nipah virus is possibly the next pandemic. And not only should you be afraid, you should be very freaking afraid, unless you think the earth is flat. There you go. Sneaking in a little bit of Neil deGrasse Tyson here. While I go back and grab these other super chats that I missed. Hold on. Sorry for the hold up, guys. I'm trying to go back and get these damn super chats I missed, and they're like way back in the chat, and it's a pain in the ass to go back and get them and pull them up on screen, but I don't want to not pull them up on screen. Oh my God, such a pain in the ass. Not you guys. You guys aren't a pain in the ass. Me having to go back and scroll so I could find these super chats and pull them up. I wish it was quicker and easier. Okay, Davey D says, want to show my support for the #1 truther source right here on YouTube. Jake the Awake, with a decade of truth, music, and entertainment. Been here for 9 of it with you. Also, shout out to the chat room. Thank you very much, Davey D. I appreciate that. I'm trying to go back and scroll back and pull up your comment. I can see it on my end, but trying to like scroll back and find it and pull it up is not going as easy as I would have liked. Here it is. Fuck. That was so hard. I kept passing it up. So yeah, Davey says he wants to show support for the #1 truther right here on YouTube, Jake the Awake, with a decade of truth, music, and entertainment. Been here for 9 of it with you. Also, shout out to his chat room. Thank you, Davey D. Sorry for missing these super chats from you and Jewy Gigi. I think I should be just about all caught up. All right, the lovely diaper video. I can't remember which channel I put that on, whether it was on this channel or whether it was on my my Jake Gibson channel. And I don't want to sit here and waste a bunch of time like trying to find a link. So can someone here find the link for the video where I go around the casino telling people nice diaper? So I ran around a casino. I didn't run around, but I walked around during the just before the casino shut down, or once it reopened and a bunch of people were wearing masks. I walked around and I made fun of everyone and I said nice diaper. And so there's somebody who wants to see that video, but it's like 5 years old, 6 years old or whatever. And so I can't remember exactly whether it's on this channel or my other channel. And so if somebody could find that link, that would be great. Maybe Holden, maybe you can find it. And Drummer Snare says, can you sing your hit single, We Land on the Moon, again? Thanks, Jake. Land on the moon, we land on the moon, land on the moon, we land on the moon, we take it over, we go to the moon, then you know that we come back soon. Rove to the left, we rove to the right, cause beach, you know that we rove all night. We land on the moon, we land on the moon, land on the moon, we land on the moon, land on the moon, we land on the moon, and yes, my friend, we will come back soon. We take it over, rove to the moon, yes, you know that we come back soon. Rove to the top, rove down low, rove so much we got no place to go. We land on the moon, we land on the moon, land on the moon, land on the moon, land on the moon, we land on the moon, and yes, my friend, we will come back soon. We rove, rove, rove. Oh, everybody now, rove, rove, rove. Oh, come on, my friend, rove, rove, rove. All the girls say rove, rove, rove. All the boys say rove, 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 rover, rove, rove, rove. Row, 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 rover. Row. Whew. There you go. Land on the moon. Just for you. Whew. Oh, Holden found it. I knew I could count on Holden to find it for me. Thanks, Holden. All right, I gotta pull this one up. It's worth it. It's a good video. You guys are gonna dig it. I haven't seen this video in a long time. All right. Thanks, Holden. I really appreciate you pulling this up for me, buddy. You saved me a bunch of time trying to do it in front of everybody. It probably would have took me 10 minutes to find. Here it is. What a lovely diaper by request from 2021. So this was when the casinos finally opened back up and everybody was wearing a diaper except me. Nice diaper. Cool diaper. What a lovely diaper. Awesome diaper. Cool diapers, dude. What a lovely diaper. Awesome diaper. What a lovely diaper. Awesome diaper. Cool diaper. What a beautiful diaper. Nice diaper. Diapers are cool. Nice diaper. Nice diaper. Oh, classic me. There you go. By request. Some classic me from 2021. Ah. Good stuff. I haven't sat and watched that one in a while. It's probably been, I don't know, 3-4 years since I've even seen that video. Where does the time go? All right. What else did we want to touch on? Oh yeah, someone asked about NASA shutting off gravity for 7 seconds. Let me quickly look into that. At a super chat earlier, someone mentioned NASA shutting gravity down, or gravity being shut off or something. All right, so apparently, just Googling it, can Earth lose gravity for 7 seconds? And then right here, January 19th, so just last month, says NASA denies claim of Earth losing gravity for 7 seconds. So my guess is this is just some bullshit that got passed around. I don't believe it for a second. That just sounds retarded. This guy's a shill right here, this fittest flat earther. Don't listen to this fittest flat earther guy. He's a total fucking shill bag. There's nobody who sits around all day making those videos like he does on their own accord. He's being fed all that content. He's being told what to say. And he's being pushed on every platform. So stay away from the fittest flat earther. But we'll check out this video.
Welcome to the We On podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we uncover the claim that Earth's gravity will suddenly collapse for 7 seconds this August, and what scientists say would be needed for that to happen. The claim has spread rapidly online, triggering fear, confusion, and a wave of viral speculation. The 7-second gravity loss scare on August 12th has gone viral. People are panicking at the thought of what could happen on this day ever since social media was set abuzz with rumors that Earth's gravity could collapse on this day in 2026. While several people have dismissed it as a mere conspiracy theory, stating that it is impossible to happen, others are scared and wondering about it. NASA's name has been dragged into it as posts claim that the space agency has known about it for years and has been working on Project Anchor in preparation for this day. While NASA hasn't officially
Yeah, this is some AI slop, right? Seeing more and more of this AI slop on YouTube. Nathaniel Arias says, Lindsey Vonn ruptured ACL, yet will ski. Fucking fake. I don't have any idea who Lindsey Vonn is. I'm guessing it's a skier. From what you're telling me. I'm guessing since you're saying she will ski, I'm guessing that Lindsey Vonn is a skier, but I've never heard of her. So I had no idea. This is news to me. But thank you, Nathaniel Arias. I hope she ruptures her other ACL and doesn't continue to ski. I do. I hope like fuck that Lindsey Vonn ruptures her other ACL and never skis again. I hope her skiing career comes to an end. Hey, everyone's allowed to their own opinion. And that's my opinion. There you go. Good times. So I don't believe this story for a second. In fact, since this is the first video that pops up and there's 10.3 million subscribers and only 10 comments on this video, this is just some quickly made AI slop, and I don't want to watch another second of it. So to the super chat that came asking me to check out these 7 seconds where the gravity's going to go away. Never. That's ridiculous. Not sure how that got started. Okay. What else do I want to? Oh, yeah. I got another one. Got a good one, actually. So if NASA's going to go back to the moon, supposedly, and do a drive-by, meanwhile, they're still faking the fake station. So we got a new space station video. This one coming in from Level Earth Observer. So they're still faking the space station footage. The space station is badly faked. Might as well call it the fake station. But they want people to believe they're going back to the moon. Meanwhile, they're still pulling off these terrible, they're not even pulling it off. They're doing these terrible fake space station videos. And this one by Level Earth Observer, he's going to show where they have a mess up in their space fakery.
Hope everyone's well. A long time no see. Today I've got a bizarre International Space Station clip for you. Incredibly damning International Space Station clip for you. Just over a minute long. We've got talk of harnesses here. We'll avoid that mockery because the space nerds will highlight, oh, the harnesses they're discussing are regarding the running machine they've got on the space station. So we'll kind of avoid that mockery. We don't need to entertain it anyway, because the last bit here, like I said, is so damning. I think every space fan on Earth is going to start dancing when they see this. So let's have a look.
Houston Station on 2 concerning T2 harnesses. Go ahead on 2. Yeah, I put the harnesses for the Crew 3 folks next to T2 this morning.
All right, so we're going to get to this space flub in just a second. I had a couple super chats come in, and then we'll get to the space fakery here on the fake station. Mike 6 with a donation says, Borat and Alex Jones telling us the files are fake. Well, I don't do the best Borat. I will admit Borat is not one of my strong impressions, but I'll see what I can make happen here. I'll give you an extra amount of Alex Jones.
Folks, as you know, these freaking deep state sons of bitches, they're trying to ruin America, and they've nearly been successful. Thank God for Donald Trump keeping these sons of bitches at bay. And we need to stand behind Trump, and we need to support ICE and what they're doing to get rid of all these decrepit, illegal aliens. They need to be deported back to where they came from. Now, folks, these Epstein files, any files that you read, let me make this very clear. Any files that come out that say anything bad about Trump whatsoever, you know that these are fake. Any information tied to these Epstein files, which paints Trump out in any negative way whatsoever, you're going to have to dismiss all of this fraudulent information, folks. The deep state is using AI to release fake Epstein files, which makes Trump look like he was doing a whole bunch of stuff on Epstein's Island that we all know damn well that he never did. Folks, Trump is one of my personal heroes, and I firmly believe he's going to save us from the deep state in the end. But I don't want to see people falling for these frickin' deep state globalists who are releasing fake Epstein files, which are depicting Trump as the bad guy, because clearly it's not true. So here we have correspondent Borat, who's going to speak more on this issue about the Epstein files. Borat, can you tell us exactly what your opinion is on the recent release of the newest Epstein files?
It is nice. I like. In America, we have Epstein files, and it talk about sexy time on Epstein's Island, which I like. I like sexy time on Epstein's Island. I want to join the sexy fun, but in my country, the Jew keep us from having the sexy time. I don't know. There you go. I told you my Borat sucks. I don't know why anybody would want me to do a Borat impression, because it's not good. One of my bad impressions. Don't anyone ask me to do a Borat impression. Otherwise, it's going to suck. But I can do all three versions of Alex Jones. I can do old Alex Jones, and I can do semi-new Alex Jones, and then I can do new Alex Jones. RY says, Jaron broadcasting from the fake station.
Hey guys, Jaron here. Not only did I go to Antarctica and prove that the Earth is a globe when I saw the sun do a freaking 360 around my head, but guys, they're actually allowing me to go onto the space station. And that's where I'm broadcasting right now. You guys, I'm on my way to the fake station, to the International Space Station right now. I'm still used to calling it fake because I used to be a flat earther, but I'm not anymore. Guys, I'm not a flat earther anymore because I went to Antarctica and I saw the sun do a freaking 360 over my head. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to prove to all the stupid flat earthers, space is real, you guys. I used to tell you space was fake. Now I'm telling you I was retarded. Space is real. I'm on my way to the space station right now. I'm going to do a live stream from the space station. It's not fake, okay? It cannot be faked. If I am doing a live stream from the space station, then you know it's not fake, you guys, because I am not fake. I'm the only real truther. I'm Jaron, you guys. I'm the only real truther. I'm the only one that went to Antarctica and told you the truth. No other flat earthers did that but me.
There you go. There's a little Jaron for that ass. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats, and we'll catch the end of Leo's video here. Oh, no. Oh. Mike 6 says, put Borat and Alex in the fake station.
Folks, one thing I can tell you is President Trump is working hard at saving us from these freaking globalists who are trying to ruin this country. And he's been kind enough to send me and my associate Borat to the space station. We're going to be doing all sorts of experiments. All right. Space is the final frontier. It is not made in a Hollywood basement. Don't listen to that freaking libtard Anthony Kiedis. All right. He's a freaking liar. All of the Red Hot Chili Peppers are libtards. All right. Space is for sure the final frontier, and it is damn sure not made in any Hollywood basements. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Borat?
It is nice. Space is nice. I like to go to space because it's nice. There you go. That's about the best you're going to get. I tell you not to ask me to do a Borat impression because my Borat impression sucks. So what does he do? Sends another super chat wanting me to do another Borat impression. All right, let's get back to this space fakery. We're going to end the stream here soon. So this is going to be like the grand finale. Keep an eye on the paperwork.
I did not find the harness for Marshburn. Can you tell me where to find that? And we're checking on that now. Not sure we're going to have an answer ASAP, but we're asking the question. We got plenty of time. Just got to have it before his first T2 session. Yep, thanks.
Now, let me just pause it there. Like I said, we're going to ignore the talk of harnesses. I just want you to focus on matey boy in the grey on the left holding the paperwork, okay? Just watch him. Remember, these guys are supposedly in a weightless environment, and watch the paperwork here. That is so damning. And so is the look on his face. They know they just exposed the space station by dropping their paperwork, which should be impossible if they were in a weightless environment.
That's a good catch. And then you immediately saw the body language afterwards.
That one little incident there, like many others, highlights that this is filmed here on Earth somewhere. And again, That's terrible, lads. Once more. This is so bad. I wonder how the space fans are going to try and justify that to themselves and anyone that sees this.
Oh, they'll just say it's a gravity pocket. You show this to any space fanboy, any science cuck. Clearly, it was a pocket of gravity. Don't you know that on board the space station, there is elements of properties that can exist where pockets of gravity can immediately mix in an area, in an environment of weightlessness. Right? They'll come up with some bullshit where there's a tiny gravity pocket right here.
This is so bad.
Whoop. All right, there you go. Dropping the script on the ISS. RY says space doesn't have essential nutrients. One of the reasons why I would never go to outer space is because you cannot get over 15 key nutrients by living in outer space. And of course, science has literally shown proof that if you do not exercise your muscles regularly, that you will lose them to atrophy. I, of course, will be busy making my lame, irrelevant diet content while running from the authorities. So I simply don't have time to go to outer space and malnourish my body. Rex says, can you do Jeremy from the Quartering, giving his breakdown on the current moon mission? Hey guys, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to the Quartering. So it's very exciting. This article I was just reading, written by some other person, it says that the Artemis II rocket is planning on going back to the moon. And I just think that that's really cool because, like, we haven't been back to the moon in so long. And us going back to the moon, you know, it's definitely something that we should be excited about. And the sad thing is, I don't see many people as excited as I am about the fact that we're going back to the moon. So one of the bad things that I read in the article is that they're not going to land on the moon, but they are going to go really close. So that's pretty cool. And there's a woman and a African-American male on board, and they're going to be the first to see the moon up close. I can only imagine how cool it would be to see the moon that close. Maybe one day in the future, they'll let us regular people take trips to the moon to see it. There you go. That's Jeremy from the Quartering for you. Never thought that would be part of my impression repertoire, but there you go. RY wants Russell Brand floating in space. Hello. So the national government has been kind enough to send yours truly to the International Space Station in collaborative effort with a collection of agencies from around the world so that we can do scientific experiments and we can explore the ever-expanding depth of our eternal knowledge of outer space. And I've got to tell you, being up here has really expanded my mind. It's got me thinking of new decisions that we can collectively make as a collaboration in exclusivity with one another as we rediscover what it is to be alive in a time where living feels like it's more of an act of indiscrimination rather than independent functionality. All right, that's hard. It's hard to pretend like I'm floating and keep coming up with Russell Brand shit. I was like, fuck, I have to keep stringing together as many big words as I can for as long as I can while doing this voice and pretending to float. Hey, I challenge anyone who thinks they can do a floating Russell Brand any better. Give it a go. Put it on camera. Upload it and tag me in it. Basically, my Russell Brand impersonation is just like saying a bunch of big words that don't quite go together in a sentence, but I just force it to happen anyway. So I say a whole bunch of word salad, which is sort of what Russell Brand does in reality. Say a bunch of big words, say a bunch of shit, eat up a bunch of time, but not really say anything intelligent at all. RY says Trump mispronounces Stallone's name, calling him Stallone, and Stallone was totally cool about it and said nothing. Oh, yeah, I remember when that happened. When Trump gave an honorary medal to Kiss and Sylvester Stallone, and he mispronounced Stallone's name, or Stallone's name by calling him Stallone. Yeah, I remember that. Can you do an impression of this happening, but Stallone getting really offended? All right, so we're going to change history here because Stallone didn't say anything about it at all when Trump totally mispronounced his name. So I want to give this honorary medal to one of the greatest Hollywood actors ever known. You may have known him and loved his work in Rocky or Rambo. Personally, I think Over the Top was his finest film. So we are here to celebrate the achievements of the career of the wonderful Sylvester Sly Stallone.
Well, with all due respect, Mr. Trump, my name is Stallone, not Stallone. So if you could, get it right, it would be greatly appreciated. I went the distance with Apollo, and it's very disrespectful, to be a fighter, who's world renowned, who went the distance with the champion, It's very disrespectful that you can't even remember my name, I'd be very glad to accept this award, but if you can't, take the time and appreciation to give my name right, then I don't even know if I want to accept the award. What do you think I am? What do you think I'm stupid? What do you think I got no brains? What do you think I'm dumb? What do you think I'm scared? All right, wait a minute. I'm scared of the Nipah virus. All right, I'm scared.
There you go. Now that's a callback to my Stallone impression from earlier. The Nipah virus Stallone. Woo! Working for a living tonight, y'all. Putting in some work. Dropping some truth bombs. Doing some impressions. Having some fun. Hey, if you guys are still here having fun, we've been at it for over 2.5 hours. Hook your boy up with a thumbs up right now. If you're watching live, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching the replay, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Hit the thumbs up right now. If you hit the thumbs up right now, it'll make your wildest dreams come true. And if it doesn't, at least you gave me a thumbs up. So at least there's that. All right. Glad you guys could be here tonight. If you're still having fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this space fakery video here that I just showed you.
wonder how the space fans are going to try and justify that to themselves and anyone that sees this. Remember,
it's a good video by Leo. All right. Floating up. Looks like I got another super chat came in. Talking about my floating Russell brand. Mike 6 says, your floating Russell brand is more believable than NASA space station. So this is what Scott Kelly used to do. So remember bald ass Scott Kelly? Used to be like, he'd do all these weird movements where he was clearly hanging around in a harness, but it's been green screened out. So he tries to act all natural, but he sits there and does these weird things like nobody does this. But in space, you'll see guys do this a lot. Then they have their shirt like all like, yeah. Space, man. RY says, thanks for doing all my ridiculous requests, Jake. No problem. I enjoy it. I have a good time exploring my creativity through comedy, right? So by you guys throwing out these comedic requests and then me giving it a go, sometimes it works out and I come up with some funny shit on the spot. And then other times I come up with some stupid, goofy shit. Which ends up still being funny, even though it might not be the best impression sometimes. So it allows me to do stuff that I wouldn't have came up with on my own without your request or your input. So when you make these comedic requests, it gives me opportunity to try some new stuff that I've never tried before, do some new impressions I've never done before, and explore new ideas with these characters. So it's fun. You guys are a fun audience to do live streams with, and that's why I still enjoy doing these live streams. It's a good time. Hope you guys enjoyed it tonight as well. Bob Lines says, Jake, you are on fire tonight. Well, that is a very generous donation, sir. And I'm glad you think so. You know, there's moments during the stream where I get on a roll and I'm doing voices and saying funny stuff. And then there's other moments where like things grind to a halt and I got to like go find a super chat that I missed. And like, so through all the bad and all the good, I'm glad that you guys are still here and still watching and still having fun and you guys still enjoy this stream, and glad that you think it was fire tonight. So when I go back and watch the replay, I'll have to see what everyone was saying tonight. I always go back and watch the replay once the stream's over, and I read all of the chats and I see who was here and who said what, so I can get a good gauge of how people felt about the stream. So this is a good sign. I've seen a lot of laughing emojis tonight and getting all these donations and compliments. That's a good sign that I did my job well tonight. And whenever I have a job well done, it makes me feel like I accomplished something. So thank you for giving me the feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment through the form of compliment and super chat. Awesome. Bob Lines, fist bumps, sir. Hell yeah. RY said, last one, a random Roseanne, Richie from Boston, and Trump mix.
Greetings, Earthlings! I have a once-in-a-lifetime interview, and I'm so happy I have the frickin' President of the United States, Donald Trump! Oh my God, Trump, I am such a fangirl. Welcome to my podcast,
Rosie. As you know, I am very happy to be here. I was a big fan of the Roseanne show. One of my favorite episodes is where young DJ, he gets caught masturbating. It's quite frankly, that is one of the funniest Roseanne episodes that I ever saw.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Ha! DJ got caught jerking off, and Darlene was making fun of him at the dinner table.
Yes, that's the episode exactly. The funniest Roseanne episode that I ever saw. I was a big fan before that, and I was a big fan throughout the show's entire run. Definitely one of my top favorite TV shows of all time. Very glad to be here. As you know, you speak out against the liberals. You speak out against the left, and I have a great appreciation for what you do here.
Well, that's wonderful. And not only do we have Donald freaking Trump, but we have another amazing guest, Richie from Boston. Richie from Boston and Donald Trump on the same stream. Holy shit, my vagina's friggin' wet with all this dick.
I'm very glad that you could welcome me back to your show. Now, as you know, my sexual organ was rendered useless in a Chinese nano drone accident, which shall remain undiscussed. But that is neither here nor there. I'm very happy to be here on your show again. And I have to recommend that both you, Rosie, and you, Mr. Trump, that you try one of my organic Bible vape juice cartridges, which, of course, is the only cure for nano AIDS. And exciting news, I'm actually working on a new Bible vape juice cartridge, which actually cures the Nipah virus. Now it's still under production, and we're going to need to test it out. But I'm pretty sure if they can't come up with a vaccine for the Nipah virus, I'm going to come up with a cure in the form of holy water and recycled Bibles and an extra special ingredient which shall remain unnamed. At any rate, buy some gold from me. You can use my promo code down below. Get 25% off Richie from Boston's organic Bible vape juice cartridges and gold. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.
Wow, there you go. That shit in one just for you. Phew. This is working for a living right here. Don't let anyone ever tell you that Jake is a bullshitter or a grifter. Fuck no. I'm a worker, man. I'm a hard-working comedian. I'm a real entertainer. This is a real podcast, right? I don't have any corporate sponsors. It's just me and you guys. You guys sending in donations with your requests. There is no sponsor telling me what I can and can't say, telling me what I should and should not talk about. I don't have any handlers, any overlords. This is literally the only real truth podcast and comedy podcast, whatever you want to call this. This is the only thing like this that exists in the world. There is no other thing quite like this. And you have to admit, there's other podcasts, there's other comedians, but there isn't a truth comedy podcast thing like this that breaks down the fake news. Really breaks it down. So I'm glad that I have an awesome audience here to enjoy this special content that I create for the world. It would be pretty sad if I did all this work and didn't get any appreciation for it. So the fact you guys are here appreciating what I do It's a awesome experience to be here doing this for you guys. And you guys are helping to make it awesome. No shit. I'm not just saying that. You guys being here, showing all this support and sending in these requests. And then I see all the laughing emojis come in when I fulfill one of these requests. It feels awesome to pull this off and to be able to do this for you guys. So thank you for being here and supporting the only real truth and comedy podcast in the world. Woot woot! Hell yeah. It's a good community of people here. Most of the people here, pretty cool. There's always a few haters that show up, talk some shit, and then leave. I noticed the haters that show up and try and spew their shit. It doesn't deter anybody. It doesn't stop the people who support me from supporting me. So the good news is the support here is so strong, the haters can't do shit about it except seethe in their own hate. Hi, haters. Had another good show tonight. So that means the haters weren't able to stop me from having a good time and enjoying myself and making people laugh and dropping truth bombs. The haters and the shills were not able to stop my good times tonight. They weren't able to stop your good time either. And they never will be. That's right. The Jake haters can fuck off. If you ain't got haters, then you probably aren't doing anything important, right? If you do anything of any importance and people take notice, you're going to have haters. So haters and having them, that's normal. It's expected at this point. But it goes further than just having haters. I have dedicated shills that watch me and keep track of what I'm doing and shit, right? If I put a link for anyone to join on screen, there will be phone calls made from handlers to shills to tell them to come over and click the link. It happened before. The last time I put a link on screen for anyone to join, any one of you guys, there were like 3 different shills who clicked the fucking link, almost like they were told, hey, go over to Jake's channel right now and join his stream and cause shenanigans, right? So some of the shills that joined a stream of mine last time I posted a link, I noticed some of these guys went on to work with Jaron and Alex Stein shortly after. They were clicking my link, trying to interrupt my stream. So there's definitely some shill bags who are out there and always watching. Kiss my ass, you shill sons of bitches. You'll never be as cool as me. You'll never be as legit as me. It's because you're a sellout shill piece of shit. That's why people see through you, and that's why your content sucks, you fucking lousy shills. There. That's for the shills who are watching. RY says, Russell Brand floating in space was my favorite tonight. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, brother. I think I caught up on all the super chats tonight. Russell Brand, Roseanne, Jake, you're on fire. Yeah, looks like I caught up on all of them. If I missed any super chats, I'll watch the replay and see them, and I'll catch up on them in the next stream. All right. I think I'm about ready to call it a night. I'm getting tired. I'm getting hungry. My dog wants to go out for a walk. Speaking of, I'll have my dog make an appearance before we shut it down. Come here, Ralph. Come here, pups. Come here, pups. Come here, pups. There's Wealthy. He's been patiently waiting for me to wrap up the stream so we can go for a walk. And I see Davies sending a super chat. It says, great stream tonight. Check out Lair of LaFleur at LaFleur Network. New premiere Sunday. Please subscribe. So shout out to Davey for the super chats tonight. Sorry that it took me so long to read your first super chat, brother. You've been a longtime supporter of the channel, and you've sent countless super chats. I can't thank you enough for your longtime support, brother. You are one of the biggest supporters of the channel, and I really, really appreciate it, Davey. So shout outs to Davey. Go check out his channel. And thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate all the super chats and all the messages. I'm going to go back and watch the replay later, and I'll read all the chats that came in. I'll see who said what and who was here. So thank you guys for hanging out with me on another Wake 'em Up Wednesday. I will see all of you in the next video or the next live stream, whichever comes first. In fact, I'm thinking I might do a Super Bowl stream the day before the Super Bowl for the football fans. I'm thinking Saturday, either Friday or Saturday, I'll do a Super Bowl stream for the football fans because they like that sort of shit. And I'll go over the game and who I think might win and that sort of shit. So if you're a football person, we'll do our final football stream for the season on most likely Saturday. And I'll give you my thoughts on who I think is going to win the scripted Super Bowl. So until then, you guys have a good night. This is Jake and Ralphie signing out. Until next time, I love you guys. Peace out. Bye-bye.